Hi, welcome back to my channel. Now, if you read anything by Kerry Wilkinson prior to this book, Truly, Madly, Amy, you might be a little surprised at the fact that this book is fairly well I would call it a women's fiction. But our author, Kerry, Mr. Wilkinson, is male. So he has veered away from his psychological thrillers to writing a book that's more on the line of being a women's fiction. And it takes place over a short period of time, 6 weeks over the course of summer, in fact, summer camp. Now, there's a nostalgic feel to this book for me because when I was, I think, 13, or 12, I went to camp. It was called Camp Tapawingo in Maine. And I remember that camping experience so well. I mean, I went camping a lot as a kid, but I went to an actual camp. Two of my sisters went and our neighbor from across the street. So four of us girls went. And when I'm reading this book, that's what I'm thinking. But this book was a little different because my camp was all girls. This was a co-ed camp. And we have Joe and we have Amy Ashworth. Okay? Now, Joe was an unhappy young man. Okay? School, it's by the way, it's 1999 if I haven't already said that. And he's not sure what he wants to do with school being over, and he doesn't know where he wants his life to go. So for starters, he takes this job as a summer camp counselor. And this is going to be good for him because he's a kid beset with anger problems. Okay? So maybe things will help him, or maybe things will get worse. Well, things actually kind of get better because he spots a beautiful girl named Amy. And they have a lot in common. They both like to read. They both love the movie Titanic. You know? Now, Amy is all Joe can think about, dream about, and plan about. And so it's a story of young love and change and domesticity and funny in places, I would say. And like I said, completely unlike anything I've read by Kerry Wilkinson up until this day. Now, when you read this book and you're getting these nostalgic feelings, then you start to see into the mind of Joe, our main character, and what makes our author, Kerry Wilkinson, write a character of first love, especially when someone's home life isn't so kosher, because that's what was going on. And then you have the past, and then you have the present, and it was a good book. I can't say a heck of a lot about it because I'm so used to talking about crime thrillers when I read books from Bookouture, but in this book, it touched on some really, really good issues. You know, we're learning a little bit about Joe and his past. We're learning what draws him to Amy. I have to love the fact I'm going to call them erudites because I'm an erudite. So I love to talk to, listen to, hear about, read about, see about people who like to read. And for teenagers that like to read, that's what kind of helped me to enjoy this book a little bit more. The pacing was very, very slow because it's not a dramatic book. It's just about two kids who were in love. So it's a character-driven story that's all about Joe and how he felt about Amy. And I think it was Katharine Hepburn. I read a book called Truly Madly several months ago. So I knew Truly Madly was about love. So that was the book that I read. That was a memoir. Well, this being Truly Madly Amy was basically Joe was truly and madly in love with Amy. And the last nostalgic thing I want to say is one of my sisters signs off on our sisterly messages, and she says, truly, madly, deeply, you're sissy. I won't say which one because I have five, so you won't be able to guess which one. But this book was good. I liked it. So I could go on, but there's no point. Just read this pleasant story. And as a matter of fact, read the author's note at the end. That caught me by surprise. That made me respect Mr. Wilkinson 1,000 more times than I already did. So definitely read this book all the way through to the author's note at the end. And you can get this book at Amazon on Kindle Unlimited. So you go for it. All right. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.